Yo, guys, this is Adrian Yanez telling you to use those handles. Hit, click, like, and subscribe. Fuck yeah, dudes. If y'all don't do it, man, fucking catch the hands, bro.
What's happening, Fight Week Show family? We are back with Tom Nicholls in the house. Tom Nicholls, he's just come through winning Battle Arena Middleweight champion. How you doing, my brother?
Yeah, I'm good, Tar. I'm good.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the
To
Fight
be
Week
on the
Show, man.
podcast.
Yeah, man. We're so excited to have you. And shout out to Eric's Gear for plugging us and pointing us in your direction.
Yeah,
Um,
he's the man.
Yeah, man. Salute to that. Salute to him, man. Salute to him. So how you been? How's life been treating you since winning the title?
It's been class. To be fair, it's been good, but I'm competing again in 3 weeks' time, so I've still like it's not an MMA fight, but I've got the British Sambo Championship. So for
Yeah,
me, like I had 2 or 3 days where I had a bit of food and I took it in, but I'm still not in. I'm still in work mode because I've still got a competition in 3 weeks. So I will back training Tuesday as normal. So I'm still like not fully taking it in because I can't afford to take it in until this next competition's done. Then I'm going on holiday for a couple of weeks and I can get
right.
fat and I can really take it. It's like, oh, man, I'm a champion. Like, what as it is at the moment, I'm still. Last weekend, it sounds really bad, but it doesn't mean anything to me because I'm still in my mind. Like I'm in work mode. So, but yeah, it's been good, but it's not over yet.
Wow. Um, you're a four-time British Sambo champion, as you mentioned there. You also judoka for Team GB.
Yeah.
Tell us about that journey and how you got into getting into that sort of base for MMA, because that's a pretty good base for MMA,
Yeah.
Sambo and judo.
It was so originally I wasn't meant to get into judo because I did it in school and
Mm,
I didn't like it, like the way the format of it was. When I was in like primary school, it was proper, like it was soft. I thought the rest of eventually, like I wanted to get into, like, I don't know, like kickboxing or something. Like I never wanted to do judo. Anyway, one day my dad rang up like an MMA. He thought it was an MMA gym,
mm.
and he said, "Oh son, I've sorted you to go some BJJ classes." For, oh yeah, class BJJ looks cool. I've seen that on the UFC. So I thought I was going to a BJJ gym. Anyway, it turns out it was judo. And the coach, I was like, "Oh, for God's sake, why am I doing judo?" Like, I ended up doing the session for an hour. I thought
Right.
this wasn't like the judo that I thought I've done originally. Like, this is pretty class. And
Yeah.
turns out, since 2012 when I walked in the gym, I've been with my judo coach ever since, and I'm absolutely blessed. And he's been absolutely paramount to my journey because he teaches the judo and the sambo, and he's so decorated in his judo and sambo. With he's like the best. He's the best in the country for me to be working with in that area.
Mm.
So it was like it's weird, but it's like stuff fell into place perfectly as the rest of the journey has. So doing judo originally, I didn't want to do it. I thought I don't like judo. It's a bit of a teddy bear sport, but
Mm.
it turns out like it's been absolutely paramount to my journey. And yeah, it's been a massive part. It's been a massive part in the base. Yeah, it's been amazing. Like I love the judo. It's class.
That's incredible. Um, about your background, like your dad owns a big bricklaying company.
Yeah,
Do you still work? Do you still work with him? Do you still work for him?
yeah. But basically, like when I'm not in fight camp, I was doing 3 days a week,
Mm,
sometimes 4 days a week, or depending how far away and how near I had any comps coming up.
mm.
I would be doing 3 or 4 days a week, which is so good. Obviously, it's flexible with training and stuff, and
Yeah, I was gonna ask how
amazing.
you balance it, how you balance
Yeah,
both of them together with the fighting.
but I'll be honest. How do I balance it? Even with 3 days a week, you
Mm,
don't you don't balance it because one's taking an impact, and it normally is work or it's training. And in January, it finally took its toll on me because I've worked and I've trained all my life, even with my judo, and I've balanced it. And the one either gives or one doesn't. And then in January, I I had my first major injury where I went training at night. One of them days when I was really, really exhausted. I shouldn't have gone training. And I've gone training and I ended up falling over and dislocating my shoulder. Anyway, the rest of it goes, I had to have 12 weeks off work. And my dad said to me, listen, when the recovery period's done with your shoulder and you're back fit, then see this rest of the year as a gap year. Get your next fight in my battle arena for the title that you originally fought for. Then we'll go back work. So literally, since middle of January, I've not worked. I've literally been training to get back fit, and then I went straight into a 10-week fight camp. So I've been doing it like a pro since January, and it's been amazing. It's been absolutely amazing. But I couldn't have done that without my dad.
Yeah.
So I've been lucky because many other amateurs in my position like don't have the opportunity. And for me to have the opportunity is like it's been amazing. It's been absolutely amazing. I'm honestly blessed to be in the position I have been in.
Yeah, man. In all walks of life, you know, when you got the support, the right support network behind you is always a good recipe for success. And you know, having parents that you know that can support what you do.
Yeah,
And
they've known, like, they had a bit of a laugh and joke. It was like, my dad goes, listen, you go back work in September, but they know my mum was digging at me the past 5 weeks. She'd be like, oh, look at you just going gym every day, and just like, mum, like, listen, I'm not just going gym every day. Like, if you actually see what I'm doing, 6 days a week, twice a week, and then after the fight, she's like, God, son, you do work bloody hard. You deserve everything you have. She sees the work. Even my mum sees the work that I put in. She knows, like, even I've been off. The day I got injured in January, I didn't sleep all night. I was on painkillers. My shoulders all inflamed, and that day of the injury, I goes to my mum. Goes, listen, because I couldn't drive because I had one shoulder. Goes, can you drop me off at the gym? And I'm just going to go sit on the cross trainer for an hour. And I was doing that every single day, even with one shoulder. Like, and I was on a cocodamols, drugged up because I was in so much pain.
Wow.
I would still go in the gym every day for an hour just to sit on the cross trainer because I thought, this isn't an excuse. I can still do something. And I was running with one arm with my sling. And my mum's kind of seen the journey back as well as my dad and my physios and my support network, and they see the work that I've actually done. And she's come to the point with this fight camp. She knows it's more than me just going to the gym and going to the sauna. Like, she understands the process of it now and how much work I put in. And obviously winning the title on the weekend, she's like, wow, maybe like, she's like, yeah, I don't need to go back to work yet. You can just chill have a chill for a bit. It's like, God, you've changed your tune.
Incredible, man, incredible. You started with Thai boxing.
Yes,
right?
yeah, I did. Yeah, when I
So
was
did
11.
you purposely change into a widely diverse path like that? What made you like really change from Thai boxing? Because you still got them hands as well.
My older brother, like, we went to a local kickboxing club, and it was more of a fitness kickboxing club.
Right.
But we heard of one in Tunstall called John Steele's. He had a bit of a reputation about it. Like, there's a few good lads there and stuff. And me and my brother, I always say he always tests the water first. So he went down before me because I was only like 10, and I thought, well, I don't want to walk into a gym like. And he went down. He says, Tom, it's just another level. Like, you'll love it. And I went down with him. The first couple of years I was going, I didn't really take to it. It was just more for fitness, and just I was really badly overweight when I first started. So it was more just a bit more of a fitness thing, and just knowing how to just do the fundamentals just in case I got jumped or something like that. Because where I lived at the time, and certain parks where I couldn't actually go, like, you couldn't go because kids would mug you, like. So it was just knowing just nice how to do a little bit. But then with Thai boxing, I didn't take to it as much as I did. I kind of had 8 months away from it, so I basically quit. And I saw my brother have his first Thai boxing fight, and I watched him. Went with my dad. I watched him and thought, I need to do that. Then I proper focused on it, knuckled down it for 3 years, and I loved it. I think I went 4-0, did loads of event clubs because I was big, and I got the bug for it. I liked it, but towards the end of it, I just thought, right, I want to learn grappling now, because the end goal was always MMA. Even when I was doing Thai boxing, I always watched UFC and thought, yeah, that's what I want to do. So I started focusing more on the judo, and started isolating that. And not just that, not one of the big reasons why I probably stopped the Thai boxing, which I've probably not spoken too openly about before, and probably not even said to my brother, is when I was 15, my coach put me in for a weight that was ridiculous, and it made me diet down way too low, and I was in school, and I was almost borderline anorexic. I made the fight, and I won the fight.
Wow.
Ended up knocking the opponent out in the second round. I was only 15 and he was 24, but I dieted down to a stupid weight that was too low for me. And to be honest with you, it affected me mentally. Like, it gave me body dysmorphia because I made weights. I got so slim that after the fight, I put a ruckload of weight on. And even since that day, like I thought, I don't want to do this Thai boxing of dieting down, killing myself, not enjoying life. So I thought, nah, I don't want any of that. I'm going to focus on my judo and just do a sport I could enjoy for a bit.
Yeah.
And I never had any intention of going back to it because the dieting, the way I did it, it put me off.
Put you off it.
Yeah, put me off it. It was ruined my life. Like the diet, it's like you're going everywhere. And when you're a young kid, you don't know anything about nutrition or cutting. You think it's just 3 meals a day, just chicken salad, chicken salad, chicken salad. And I hated it. I hate it. I left the sport. I thought, I don't want to do this. This is rubbish. Why I don't want to kill myself dieting?
That's crazy. That's incredible. Staying on the subject of all the skill sets that we were just talking about, a lot of people might not know the difference between wrestling, BJJ, like your dad did with the judo, Sambo, and judo. Like, could you explain the difference between all those different skill sets to our viewers?
The Sambo in essence is judo. It, like, in the sense of all the standing up throws and hip throws with Sambo, that's judo. But what Sambo also has is the wrestling. So you're allowed to do the double leg takedown, the single leg grabs. And that's the difference between Sambo and judo. Like, you can't in judo, it's just all upper body throws, you're not allowed to touch the legs. In Sambo, it's a cocktail of the wrestling, the judo, and the leg locks on the floor, and and the arm locks and stuff. As BJJ is more just ground or more ground oriented. There is some takedowns in it, but it's not its specialty. On the ground, BJJ is all your subs, and that's where everything comes from with the ground. A lot of BJJ people want to learn the judo style just so they can get the takedowns, and sometimes, and a lot of time, the judo person likes to learn the BJJ to learn the groundwork side. But the BJJ is in its own field. Of BJJ is predominantly it is groundwork based. The takedowns aren't really, I wouldn't say respected, but it's not their specialty. It's the Sambo and the judo. It's takedown orientated, and that's kind of a little breakdown for that.
Got you. And we know what you think of people that pull guard. Let's not go there.
Yeah, no.
that was class, by the way.
I wasn't a fan. But well, I mean, each their own.
Yeah. If people don't know what we're talking about, go ahead to Tom Nicholls' page. You're gonna see it on there, and he does tell you what he really thinks of people that pull guard. Being a champion in Sambo, would you prefer to take the fight to the ground, or do you still enjoy throwing hands as well?
Depends on the opponent. It depends on the opponent, and depends how the fight's going, what's necessary, and what I want to do. So for me, I love the groundwork, and I love the ground and pound style, and engaging and being top pressure. I love that. I relish it, looking for subs if they are there. I love that in the grapple and the wrestling. That is in my heart. However, Saturday, I knew that as crazy as the guy was fighting and whatever weird stuff he was doing, which I hope I never ever have to see again because he was a weirdo, is on the ground. I knew his guard after the first round. I was in his guard and I sat in it, and I knew he was very experienced at BJJ. Like I can read when you, as soon as we're on the ground, I read his game straight away. He was trying to catch me in guard, and I knew on the feet that I'm winning here. So I didn't want to take any stupid risks. I thought, why even engage with him in a grappling to prove my own ego, to tell you that I'm a better grappler, and I probably could have got the better of him with the ground and pound. But I'm engaging in an area where he could potentially catch me. He was on the feet. I knew it was like playing with a little girl. So why would I wouldn't even want to let my ego come into it and try and engage in the ground fight. So I thought I may as well just stand up and just win the fight comfortably. Sometimes you have to. I didn't feel like I was forced into having to show my grappling because I didn't really need to. So it's just a matter of just winning sometimes, innit? But I do prefer the grappling. Yeah, I definitely do prefer the grappling. But you've got to play smart and use what the part of the game that you've got when you need to, and don't take stupid risks.
Yeah, fantastic. When you were younger and that you took on a bully, right? And from what I gather from following you and knowing the stuff that we know about you, you don't like anybody with that sort of bullish behavior sort of thing. What advice can you give to the up and coming kids, up and coming fighters, that people that want to be like yourself? What advice do you give to those kids, and how to look after themselves the way you did?
Don't. Number one thing I would say to him is, don't have an arrogant persona. Don't go out with your mates and act like you're the Billy Big Bollocks, and give off a false ego about yourself, trying to act like someone. That's number one. I'd say don't act something you're not. And also just try and be like, even if you see that someone's cocky or something in a room, or you think, oh, he looks a bit of a bully guy, don't even entertain it. Try and just be a bit pacify a little bit. Try and just keep your head down and just try to be someone who gets on with people, even if you know, right, he's an idiot. You don't need to tell him he's an idiot, because that's your first mistake. Because then you're going to be engaged in a conflict. Then, like, just try and ride out confrontation whenever you can. Obviously, sometimes it comes to a point when you don't have a choice. Like, I didn't have a choice one time. It come to a point where I had to have an altercation with someone, which isn't nice. I still think of it now, like I don't actually like. But then I would also say, just try get in the gym 3 or 4 times a week. Do a little bit of boxing, or it doesn't even matter what, any form of basic martial art. If you can get in the gym a couple of times a week to do that, and just keep yourself healthy, just so you can do enough if you do end up getting in an altercation, and you can feel a bit more comfortable when you go out in your shirt on a Saturday night. Because if it does kick off for someone, that you can comfortably look after yourself, then yeah, but you 100% need to be able to do. You need to do something, because there's some weirdos out there who will try and belittle you or do something to you. And yeah, it's just be nice just to know the base. I'm not saying you need to go down the path of being right. You need to be like a fully fledged martial artist. But I think it would be good to boys and girls. And I was saying this to my brother the other day. Like, I don't think there's enough like girls who are coming to martial art gyms because of the exteriors. When you go in a gym, or it's just a lad orientated places. Yeah. Girls need to know this basic self-defense stuff, because unfortunately it's not been sexist, but they are so much more vulnerable than a man is, just with the strength and the way they're built. Yeah. Like, everyone should have like a basic area of martial arts skills, and it should be taught in schools. Yeah. It shouldn't be left optional when you leave school. All right, I'm being mugged now. What do I do? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I 100% to anyone, any young man or girl, just try and do something a couple of times a week. Doesn't matter what it is. Well, if you can go do something, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, man. We had to touch upon it because I know it's a subject that's really, really important to you. So it's something that we had to touch on. What we wanted to ask you next is, being in the sport that you're in and what you now do for a living. You feel nerves, sometimes fear, going into the cage to fight another man. How do you deal with that, and how do you compose yourself? How do you lock it off in a box and then go out there and compete with supreme confidence? How do you do that?
To answer you, I would say you don't. you don't ever lock it off football, but once you actually get in there and the first punch is thrown, that's where your training camp and your preparation will give you that confidence. So I always find that when I'm actually walking down and getting into the cage, for me, the nerves and anxiety, it goes because I trust in the process of the training camp that I've done. I'm not getting in that cage thinking, oh, if I've not done this now, I've not done that. I know whoever's in front of me. I've done the work for him, and I trust in the process of the team around me that we've done the work, and what will be will be. I can't do any more than the work I've done, and obviously, you can never get rid of fear that I'm going to have an altercation with someone. I could be knocked out in front of my friends and family. I'm always going to be nervous, but I also know when you get the finish or you win, that Domino's pizza tastes so much better the Sunday after. So it's one of them. You put yourself through a bit of a challenge and nervous, and you come through the other end. Everything always feels better, and it's always worth it. But the nerves, I would say, it's something that it's just something you come through with experience. Obviously, the MMA fights, I'm only three fights in, but I've had like 4 Thai boxing fights, loads and loads and loads of individuals, like matches in my Judo and Sambo, which have created nerves and anxiety. And you just kind of find a way over time that the way you mentally ride it, you know how to switch on, you know how to perform, you know how to turn up, because there's been many times where I haven't mentally turned up before, nerves have got the better of me. But over time, that's something you just learn how to control through experience. But you can never get rid of nerves or being scared for someone, because if you're not scared to have a fight with someone in a cage, then you're an idiot. It's just, but learn how to control it is something you just learn over time.
Got you. I start to wind down on the time. I'm very, very conscious of it. I know your time is very valuable. I need to touch on this because when I spoke to Eric's game, he said to us, "You're a big Arsenal fan," and
have you even got me top up for you?
Look at that! Salute to Eric's gear. You're an Arsenal fan. I'm an Arsenal fan as well. Been following the club for over 35 years. Love the club. We've not had the best time in over the last decade, 15 years. But what have you made of our summer? What have you made of our summer and the preseason games that you probably caught, and the first couple of games of the season? What have you made of it all?
Class. It's the project's looking good now with the youngsters coming through, and some of the signing, like with Edu signing this summer, is honestly Zinchenko and Jesus coming towards. It's like that's
you're starting to believe now, yeah.
I'm starting to believe a little bit. As if you asked me 12 months ago, I was crying on the train back saying Arteta out. I remember.
You and me both.
I was fully Arteta gone, but now the recruitment and the signings, it's looking good. And we haven't just got one player reliant for a position. Like we've got people like Smith Rowe, Martinelli battling for the left. It is looking good, and considering we're not in the Champions League, to get Jesus and Zinchenko, it speaks volumes of what the players are obviously seeing and what Arteta is offering coaching wise. And yeah, it's looking good, but hopefully, never know, we'll get to meet the team soon one day. That's the dream.
Oh, that would be incredible. What about Saliba? What have you made of his return to the club? Because we signed him for 27 million, and he never kicked a ball for Arsenal. Maybe one friendly game, and he never kicked a competitive game for Arsenal. And he's come back, and it looks like he's been playing here for years.
I know, and he's forced Ben White out, he's forced Ben White onto the right back, which I don't like. But that's obviously saying so much about him, innit? Like, you're forcing Ben White out, and he's being put on the right back straight away. It's like, it's big, innit? But I don't think you can really, from what I've seen in 2 games, obviously the own goal was it's one of them, but you can't do anything about it. But
miscommunication that, and Vardy would have been in if he didn't do nothing about that. Yeah, that ball was dropping to Vardy.
And they need time. They need time to make a partnership gelled. Obviously, there's a language barrier, isn't there? Yeah. So once they find that connection, it's like you can't really judge them 2 games in. But from what I've seen, it's looking very promising. I'm very happy.
Yeah. So if you was to give a prediction where we'd finish this season, what? No. Actually, forget the prediction for now. What would be a successful season for you? What would be a successful season, and what's acceptable for you this season, considering everything that we've had two 8th place finishes and a 5th place finish. So what constitutes as a acceptable season for you this season?
I think with the recruitment that we've done and the signings, it's got to be top 4. It's got to be top 4. 4th, 3rd doesn't really matter as long as we get Champions League, and we've got to have a run at. We've got to have a run at a trophy, haven't we? We've got to have a run at. We've got to have a run at the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, and obviously Europa League. That would be massive. That would be massive.
It will be.
It still counts as if we win that. I can still say to my missus's family, who are all City fans, I can still say, listen, we won European trophy before you.
Oh my days.
Yeah, we've got to have a realistically Champions League, and we've got to have a go at the Europa. Like we've got to be getting to semi-final, if not having a serious go to win it, haven't we? Yeah. That's what is a realistic goal.
For me, if that doesn't happen after the money that this manager spent, serious questions has to be asked.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
And the way we lost the FA Cup last season to Nottingham Forest still leaves a bad taste in my mouth. So I want to see a deep run in that competition there as well.
I know that hurts, but I'm looking forward to. I'm going. One of my friends has just sorted me tickets to go against Spurs in October the 1st. Oh yeah, and it's my first derby at home, and I just feel like I feel like that game's going to tell us a lot through the season because I think it's going to be between Tottenham, Chelsea, and Arsenal going for 4th.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Man U, they're not even in the equation.
You had to do that, ain't you? You had to do that.
I had to do that.
You know, they're down the bottom of the table as we speak right now, as we record today. Manchester United at bottom of the table with -5 goal difference.
Yeah, but we know how that feels 12 months ago.
Yeah, I mean they were dancing on a grave last season, and here we are. The tables have turned, and they have Liverpool next week. Good luck to them.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I love seeing them suffer.
Oh man. On that bombshell, thank you very much for joining us tonight. I could talk to you forever, bro. I mean, it's crazy. Hopefully down the line, we'll bring you back on the channel to come and talk to us about some of your other things that your competition that you said you got going on. Actually, before you log off, tell us what you got going on. People you want to say thank you to, your sponsors, your team, people, things like that. Please, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so I've got the Combat British Sambo Championship September the 3rd, I think it is, to be confirmed. So yeah, I've got that coming up, and then I should, hopefully all being well, I will be fighting middle November, whether it's defending my amateur belt or doing something else potentially for some kind of a fight. I'm not sure, but that's the plan. I want to be fighting again mid-November and maybe even December as well. And then hopefully next year I can turn pro. But before that, I want to say a massive shout out to all my sponsors, my physios for fixing me when I was completely broke. All my sponsors teams, my trainers, ASW, the Warfare Academy, Georgie, my grappling coach, all them people who make my journey so much more easy, and my mum and dad, and probably the biggest one, my girlfriend, for putting up with me when I'm hangry 24/7. So yeah, they're the people I want to say a massive thank you to, and also if you having me on this podcast today, and obviously Richard, the main man.
Fantastic. That's it. Okay, Fight Family. This has been another exclusive from Mr. Tom Nicholls himself, a big gooner. Please go and follow him on all his socials. Keep your eyes peeled for what he's got coming up. And on to the next video. Hasta la vista. Salute, people.
The Fight Week Show.
Hey guys, this is John Anik from the UFC. You're watching the Fight Week Show. Please subscribe. Not now, but right now. Subscribe to the Fight Week Show. We'll see you guys on the road soon.